The phone rings. The number looks official. And the voice on the other end sounds calm, professional, convincing. The caller says they're from the government. They say your identity has been compromised. They say you're in serious trouble. And before you have time to think, fear takes over. This is the story of a global call center scam that targeted thousands of Americans and the FBI investigation that finally shut it down. For years, scammers have used one simple tactic: authority. By impersonating U.S. government agencies like the IRS, the FBI, and the Social Security Administration, fraudsters learned they could control victims through fear. The calls were carefully scripted. The language was formal. The threats were specific. Victims were told they were under investigation for tax fraud, identity theft, or money laundering. The goal was not just to scare, it was to rush. Scammers followed strict call scripts. They warned victims not to speak to family members. They demanded secrecy. They claimed that hesitation would make the situation worse. The callers often had access to personal details, names, addresses, even partial social security numbers. This information made the threat feel real, and once fear was established, money was the next step. Victims were instructed to pay immediately. Some were told to buy gift cards and read the codes over the phone. Others were directed to wire money or transfer cryptocurrency. The scammers claimed this was a temporary security measure, a way to protect funds during an investigation. In reality, once the money was sent, it was gone. The victims came from all walks of life: elderly retirees, new immigrants, working professionals. Some lost a few $1,000s. Others lost their entire savings. Many victims later said the same thing. They knew something felt wrong, but fear overpowered logic. The calls didn't come from government offices. They came from overseas call centers disguised as legitimate businesses. Inside, rows of workers sat at computers wearing headsets, following daily call quotas. Some workers believed they were working in customer support or sales. Others knew exactly what they were doing, trained to manipulate pressure and intimidate. The operation ran like a business: targets, metrics, profits. Despite the distance, the scammers left behind digital footprints, phone records, money transfers, cryptocurrency transactions. Over time, U.S. authorities began connecting the dots. What appeared to be isolated scams were actually part of a coordinated international operation. The FBI launched a multi-year investigation. Cybercrime units worked with international law enforcement partners to trace the calls and follow the money. Servers were identified. Accounts were monitored. Suspects were tracked. Slowly, the network began to unravel. In coordinated raids, authorities moved in. Call centers were shut down. Equipment was seized. Key operators were arrested. Millions of dollars in assets were frozen. For the first time, the voices behind the calls were silenced. This case exposed how easily trust can be weaponized. It showed how criminals exploit authority, fear, and urgency. And it revealed how global cybercrime networks can operate in plain sight. No government agency will ever threaten you over the phone. They will not demand gift cards. They will not ask for secrecy. If a call creates panic, hang up, because in the world of cybercrime, fear is the scam.